Hi, and welcome back. So we have a little bit of a different setup today. Welcome to my entire bloody studio because I can't make the camera do smaller things. Okay, anyway, so this is the beginning of the garden series. I wanted to start from the very beginning and then just walk through the process that we followed. And there would be things most definitely that I would change from how we did this just to simplify, especially if you have to bring in a lot of stuff. Um, so I'm going to get started with um, my plan, how I planned it out, what we're planting, where I found everything. And like I have all of this uber organized because that's the way my brain best functions. So let's get into this. All right, so this is where we started, and I did not have a video recorder at this time, so here are some pictures. And let's get into this again. Okay, so the first place I started was on growveg.com, and they do have this application for free. I do pay for mine because I had to create a lot of plans, and you only get so many. So I do pay for this. It's a yearly subscription. I forget how much. So on my little tiny screen here, you can see this is the full layout of the garden. So I wanted to have a garden where I knew we would eat primarily what was in it. So I had like an idea of what I could plant. So let me make this bigger so that it can be seen. Whee! Yeah, it's the only thing I don't really dig about this. All right. So this would be the back end of the garden. And moving forward, you see we have all the beds in lines. This was not the original plan for the garden. This is what we ended up coming up with, as many things did not work out. So this is roughly in total about 3,000 square feet. And we left all of this space to help with getting a tractor in, which still didn't work. So that's why there is so much walking space, but I just figure I'll put planters and things like that in to grow more of what I want to grow. On the outer edge of the garden, these are all deer resistant. Deer don't like them. And if anybody has seen any of the garden walks, the deers love getting in the garden and ate most of my stuff this year. So this is all deer resistant. And since they don't like it, hopefully they won't come up with it. I do need to update this because I did find out that deer also don't like bulbing plants. So I put bulbs there. And hopefully they will bloom and it will be awesome and pretty. So back to the top here. These are all herbs, and I will um, gather them, collect them, dry them, freeze dry them, and we will use them, of course. So we have this is sage, and this will tell you what you're planting, how many plants, all of that. So cauliflower right here is comfrey. I plan on growing a lot of comfrey because I need it in multiple places in our yard. Um, and I can transplant it, chop, and come again, and all of that, and cover all the beds in the fall, giving them all the nutrients that comfrey has to give. We got our berries in tomatoes, basils, parsley, onions, carrots, nasturtiums for soap, beans, and arugula, and lettuces, and all the things. Crimson clover, which I believe I'll be using crimson clover as a cover crop in the fall because it is such a good herb to have on hand, especially when you're a female of my age. Um, Maybe my next herb video will be on crimson clover. Chives, more tomatoes, feverfew, beans, broccoli, chamomile, Chinese cabbage. All of these have been companion planted or will be companion planted, which you can do with this app as well. Um, and then these are actually going to be roses here because all the fruit bushes ended up inside the garden. and I will go through the roses that I have in a different video because I've never actually grown roses from seeds. So this will be fun and probably a little painful because of the thorns. So from here, what I did once I got everything in that I knew I wanted to plant, they have a plan button, which is this right here, and then you have a plant list. This will take all of the plants you put in and tell you when to start them indoors, outdoors, and when to harvest. How many you want in your garden according to what you drew up, all of it. So this right here, these are flowers that I added in as pollinators. So they don't really give you every single flower, herb, everything that you want. So you do have to do a little bit of research. I took this, and because I am uber organized and I need to know how much it's going to cost, what I can do now, what needs to wait, what it's going to cost me year over year, I then went in and I created a Google sheet that tells me what I need, where I can get it, how many I need, the amount of one of those items, and then my total. So I just took my amount, multiplied it by my quantity, and got my total. Then I was like, how do I track if I have these? So I have a do we have column. And I have a lot of yeses in here now because it's been about a year that I've been collecting and getting everything that we need for the garden. There are some no's in here because I decided either not to plant them or things like that. And then the actual cost goes away as I click yes, because I need to see what more I need, what more I got to bring in to get what I need. And I believe I need to update some of these, maybe sweet potatoes. Oh, we got this. So I would go here. Yes. And it takes that down to 0. And now, according to my budget, I still need a remaining $567.99 to get everything in that I would want to get into my garden. The original cost was around $1,990.52. Give and take with inflation, all of that, because that's super fun to do this during the time we are in right now. And then I wanted to see how much this will cost me year over year. Is there a year over year cost? And if I can save the seeds, I will. So that would not be a year over year cost since I'm saving my own seeds that have grown in my own soil. So some of these, yes, like turmeric, things like that, I need to buy seeds for. So we have all of that in there, which is my year over year cost. Then how many seeds are per pack? Can the seeds be saved? Yes or no? Was perennial? All of that. So I know exactly what I can save and what I can't. I have a seed saving book, and this is these page numbers right here, like seed to seed, page 65 tells me how to save this particular seed. If I couldn't find it in the book, I found it online and I popped it in here. These are all pages in seed to seed, YouTube videos, anything that I could find to help me make this easier and faster for me when I go to do the things I need to do. Then I have the count of how many I need to plant, their spacing. And I took a lot of the other stuff from the garden planner. What I couldn't find there, I found online or on my seed packets. So the spacing, indoor planting, outdoor planting, harvest time, sunlight hours, sprouts, the ideal temp, and the seed depth. So now I took all of these days, all of these months, and I linked it to a Google Calendar. That is linked to my email so that it pops up on my phone when I need to start indoor planting seeds and getting them ready. And then when they go to be planted outdoors, or if I just need to start them, direct seed them in the ground, I have it on my calendar and it pings my phone so that I always know when I need to plant something. Again, I was trying to do this in the most simplistic way possible. So there was a lot of work on the front end to get us ready. From there, if it's frost hardy, and growing tips. So I put in growing tips on pretty much anything I could find growing tips on. Because I mean, I'm used to growing tomatoes and zucchini and things like that. Some basic herbs that a lot of people use in their kitchen. That's what I'm used to growing. So that is what I know. This is other stuff that is new to me that I don't necessarily know. So that is my spreadsheet, my 12-foot boards, 8-foot boards. These are all things that I needed to like build beds, dirt because we needed some new topsoil, things like that. Oh, it's windy outside. Sorry, I got distracted by a whole bunch of leaves. Um, I don't think we're actually going to be doing oats this year or this coming year. I have to wait to buy the bay leaf plants closer to spring, as well as the potatoes and things like that. La la la. And there we go. Like 50. Okay, make sure I didn't have any rows hidden. All right. So that was the plan of the things. And I'm going to go dig up some videos of us getting started and what we were trying to figure out during all of this. I just want to say a quick thank you to all the new subscribers and how blessed I am to have you all around. Thank you again for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed.